Hey, good morning everyone. Daniel Villarreal here with Queerty.com at the South by Southwest Festival. We're in front of the famous Driskill Hotel, established in 1886 by a cattle baron, Jesse Driskill. It's a luxurious hotel where a lot of the celebrities, filmmakers, and other artists at the South by Southwest Festival will be spending the week in luxury and refinement. A handful of the films you've worked on have had a sort of either queer or quasi-queer take. I mean, there's Brotherhood, you have 8, The Mormon Proposition, and then you also have Hump Day, which is kind of a bromance of proportions. And so I'm kind of wondering, what hand did you have in kind of promoting, developing, getting finances to them? And also, what were some of the challenges that you faced with such projects?
I think it's just personal passion, right? So I'm gay. We like what we like. I like French movies. I studied French. I love movies, so I probably like, an elevated type of cinema. But also, I have very commercial taste. And when you're looking at, what do you choose to sell or not sell? Is there an audience for it? I think gay films in particular, there's a very specific, clear audience for those kinds of movies. 2, again, personal passion, I can really identify with, and I know how to talk about those kinds of movies and why they would or wouldn't work. And then 3, I think, just having been in the business for as long as I have, in some weird way, I kind of have the luxury of being able to handpick what I do and don't want to be involved with.
Is it really possible to get other people into the fold and excited about things like 8, The Mormon Proposition, when the majority of people who support it are already gay?
Yes. I think that's why I'd say a movie like 8, The Mormon Proposition can do that. It's a human story, it's a human rights story. It's a question of church versus state. And so there's a lot of other issues that I think, in terms of how it's marketed or talked about to a consumer marketplace, is important, which I think in a way, kind of gravitate towards a lot of these types of movies, because my goal is to, how do you help these films cross over? Right. How do you get them outside of a very finite gay consumer to either a gay-friendly consumer, a female consumer, a straight male-identified consumer? Right. And I think there's a way to get these movies out there. I'm kind of wondering what you think are the challenges currently facing gay media, and also how you think young up-and-coming gay artists and citizens can kind of actively contribute with some quality and panache. Well, I think this is more specific to cinema. I think one of the challenges in gay cinema now is telling new stories. When I was, just getting exposed myself to just kind of dealing with my own sexuality and sort of, what content was out there. And let's say that's like the late 80s, early 90s. So it was like that classic kind of coming out story. And, if we look back historically, those movies, they feel so old-fashioned now. I'm living in the closet, I can't tell my parents, or, oh my gosh, I have AIDS, or sort of those sort of very sort of traditional stories. And I think for young filmmakers, it's about how do we not necessarily retell those stories, but how do we tell those stories in a modern way? Because I think we're still dealing, again, with issues of identity. How do I fit into society? And we've told those stories so many times, it's about how do we make them fresh. And I think that's the challenge to the young gay artist, if they choose to express themselves that way. I think even beyond that, it's just about, I don't think that the gay artist has to be identified by sexuality. So I think, it's about how can they just express themselves creatively in this world where there's such a plethora of content and so many different ways to be distracted or to be entertained. And I think ultimately it just then puts more pressure on the filmmaker or the content creator to create content that is that much more elevated. And whether that's gay or straight, man or woman, I think they're the same challenges. Yeah, absolutely.
I want to thank you for your time.
Okay, no, absolutely, no. Thanks for sitting down.
Absolutely. This is Daniel Villarreal with Kevin
Iwashina.
Speaking at the Driskill Hotel about the movie Brotherhood and other gay media. We'll have more coverage coming to you. Keep up.